Rex shares ETFs are being liquidated, shrinking the funds, closing positions, and protecting investors. Guys, it's Doug the Retirement Guy with all your weekly ETFs, and this one kind of threw me for a shocker when I got the information. We asked for more details, really didn't get too much from it, but we're going to cover it all today about Rex shares, their ETFs, which ones they're liquidating, which ones they're going to keep, to give you all the insight up to date. Let's get into today's video. So the breaking news that came out is Rex shares announced the liquidation of multiple growth and income ETFs effective mid-June. The announcement that Rex shares is liquidating several of their growth and income ETFs, no official explanation was provided by the management. Okay, we're going to show you the exact letter that came out to tell us about this. The unlikely reason is the assets under management shortfall. The funds never reached the significant scale that they expected it to be. The marketing failed to keep pace with the quality of the underlying strategies. So I really believe an asset under management issue, this is why we talk about this on the channel so much, is the AUM. But it's not they're saying it's not a strategy failure when it's really more of an asset and almost want to call it unpopular type funds. The strategy is a sophisticated blend of two proven models. They're using the Roundhill's 2x leverage exposure to amplify that upside, and they're actually using YieldMax's covered call model to generate income. Remember, these are going to be the funds that are a 50-50 mix. So 50% of the fund was going after growth, 50% of the fund was going after income. I always thought it was a solid strategy. I really liked the strategy. You know, I didn't see that we got the biggest performance, but I always thought it was safe and secure what was going on, just to show you what we don't know. So the wrong side of this is that these funds aren't going away. So let me first show you the first part of it is Rex shares. They announced that the liquidation will be June 16th of 2026. The affected funds will be the Rex share coin, Rex share COII, the Rex Robinhood, the Rex LLII, the Rex MSTR, the Rex PLTI, and then the brand new one, the Rex Growth and Income Universal ETF. When I got into the rest of this, what the letter came in from the Board of Trustees based on the recommendations of the Rex advisors, okay, the investment advisor of the fund, each series of the trust has provided a closing liquidation of the funds. So the funds will basically start to close on the close of business on June 9th, 2026. And then that sets the bottom price. And then they will liquidate it all out so that on the close of the business of June 16th, virtually everyone will have the money. So basically, they're just going to cash all the funds back out, pay off what's done across the board. But again, as you read through this entire thing, it does not tell you anything at all of why. Why are you getting rid of it? Why are you making a change? Why? Tell us. Was the funds good? The funds bad? The funds have issues? They don't tell you anything. This is why I continuously look at, as I've watched these almost over a year already, that it's the assets under management. It's not growing big enough. They're not getting enough interest into them. It's just not popping for them, and they're getting out of it. So the real hit list, I want to give it to you so we have the actual signs and signals across the board. I want to tell you again, trading halts June 9th. Cash redemption happens June 16th. And the 7 funds that are closing is the Coinbase, COII, the COII, WWII, the Robinhood, HOII, the Eli Lilly, LLII, the MicroStrategy, MSII, the PLTI, PLTI, and then GIF, the Growth and Income Universal ETF. Now this thing, like I said, is only 2 months old and they're already closing it. So they're going to keep and survive is going to be the NVIDIA, NVII, Tesla, TSII, which I'm actually shocked when that fund that they didn't throw it over there as well. But then the Walmart, WMTI, and the ULTI, the Income Max Option Strategy, they continue with that. So you see the dates down below again. June 9th, halts it. June 16th, liquidates it. So the critique of the liquidation rationality is the management's claim versus what market reality is. Management's position in the best interest of shareholders. Well, RexShares management framing no official asset under management or operational explanation is being provided. So I really have to ask, what are you doing saying that it's the best interest of the shareholders? COII, Robinhood, MSTR, both of them were starting to show, or all three of them were starting to show recovery signals. With the Bitcoin cycling and Robinhood historically depressed valuation, it's forced the exit at the bottom of the pricing. Okay? COII, I was watching it. I own every one of these. And maybe that's why my anger is in my voice right now, but I just don't get it when companies just make a decision saying it's in the best interest of us shareholders and don't share anything more to it. They were starting to, you can see, they're starting to make the trends upward. They're starting to get back to where we wanted to be. And tying in the distributions that they're paying and where we were at, I saw a recovery coming in a very short period of time. But the transparency gap, the assets under management shortfall, not shareholder protection, it's forcing redemptions at the bottom, locking in our losses. Timing to tell the real story. I think we really need RexShares to tell us the truth. Why are they closing off these 7 different positions? But the question is this, and here's another one I want to share with you, the COII dilemma. There's really no direct replacement for their fund. There's no one that's even close to has a fund like theirs. And current holding, I was actually up 18.9%. 20% distribution, and we were basically got back to about a 2% loss. And so I'm really at an 18% profit across the board on this, and now we're after liquidating. So am I liquidating at a profit? Well, sure. But I also took the long road to get to a profitability. And with no direct replacement, where do we take the money to? You know, do I move it over to PLTI or do I move it over to Robinhood? What do we do? Do we get the weekly funds? And that's the big struggle that we're looking at. There's no perfect replacement that exists. So splitting the capital may be my smart move to do. Now, other funds like MSII, the MicroStrategy, and the Coinbase, there are direct replacements, and there are some things that will fit properly. So we could go over to Roundhill's MSTW and almost literally have a match for match with it. We could take the coin over to COTW of Roundhill, or even the Robinhood from Roundhill. Both of those are both Coinbase, pretty much driven items. And both of them use that 120% exposure, and they have that weekly income. So this is kind of what I'm looking at, is where are we going to sit and switch the stuff to? Now, personally, I'm telling you up front, my own personal accounts, I set it all up, sold them all this morning. I dropped everything out and cashed them all out to see where we can get. I'm going to try to get the highest amount of exit that we can. We're going to lick our wounds and move on and take a look. Do I need some growth? Do I need to continue with the income? Where do I need to put the product properly? So I'm not just going to take it and just move from coin to another coin. I'm not going to go from MicroStrategy just to another MicroStrategy. But I'm showing you that there is, if you like these particular funds, there are basically the Roundhill option to be able to do this. But the execution and timing strategy, these are all the things that you need to play into your portfolio, and I really need to make sure you understand. June 9th is the last day to sell. Trading halts at the close of business. So if you can, we don't know what that's going to be. We don't know if the liquidation is going to happen and people are going to be cashing out as soon as they hear this information. And will that drive prices up, down, normally down? But buying Roundhill on the X date, okay, this is the optimized entry points. If you buy on the X date, that means the dividend's going to be reduced and after that period, after they announce, you're going to buy virtually at the lowest possible point of that day and move forward. So you're going to try to sell Rex shares at the full price and buy at a discounted price. I know that sounds like the buy high, buy low and sell high type program, but in this situation, it's about the best chance that you're going to have. Now, tax awareness, you guys have to understand this one. In a tax advantage accounts, IRAs and Roth, the liquidation can carry no immediate tax burden. On non-retirement investors, they should plan around capital gains treatments before that June 9th, if you're in capital gains. Like I said, I have 2 of my funds are actually are in capital gains category, while I had 4 funds that were in the negative factor, which is going to help offset that. These are the things you have to look at before you just cash out and move accordingly. So the market lookout in the community, first off, the analysis that's out there, I'm going to put it out there. Coinbase is a strong buy. Most of the places I look at, now this is not me personally, this is coming from the internet across the board, coming from the stock analysis. We're looking at Morningstar. We've also looked at Seeking Alpha. But they're saying Coin, MSTR, Robinhood, and PLTI are all strong buys with that 30 to 100% upside targeting. It's a sad day for Rex share fans. Now, I was one of them. I will tell you that when they first came out, I liked it. I thought there was security. I thought there was some safety. I loved the 50-50 plan. But we got to roll with the punches. So it hurts me to do this. And kind of like what happened with YieldMax, I think it's going to happen the same thing with Rex shares. I think a lot of the people are going to get a bad taste in their mouth, and they're going to turn things down. And Rex shares is going to try to bring up some new products to try to develop the excitement back again. But people don't forget, and especially on these channels like here, we won't forget what Rex shares done. We don't forget what YieldMax has done. That's why we're very particular on what we do with YieldMax. So number one, what's the position you're holding with and your exit plan? What's your exit dates? I would love to hear it. Drop me a line below. I'd love to hear what your strategy is going to be. Are you going to rotate into YieldMax, Roundhill, and other income ETFs family? Or, personally, I think I'm going right back into the monthlies, heavy monthlies, the SPYI, the QQQI. I may even throw some out there to try to get some bigger recovery to try to rebuild what I lost. Or are you going to use this movement to move into underlying stocks directly? And so I'm kind of like in the position where, one, I tell you, I've already sold, done. Two, I'm not just going to jump into a new Roundhill or YieldMax funds. I'm going to look at the income. What do I need? How do I need it? And I'm really looking heavily into 3 that I've take the funds and roll into stocks to try to rebuild my portfolio across the board on that one. So let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're going to do in this situation as we move forward.
Thank you for watching. Press the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join. Leave any comments below and join our Patreon to support the channel. I'm Doug, the Retirement Guy.